Hey there, it's another episode of Red Plays, and we're back to our final turn of Eclipse. This is turn 8. We've had this epic battle between Beatrice and Jocasta, and it's about to wrap up here. Beatrice got a slow start, Jocasta got a pretty good start, and it was looking like Jocasta was going to run Beatrice over with her Rift Cannon interceptors. Beatrice managed to pull some missiles out for her dreadnoughts, and she had a great round just this last turn with the dreadnought being able to defend and take out some ships here. There is a thing I missed from the last round, so I hope to rectify that right now. So one of the things that I missed was Jocasta had taken over this hex right here. So what should have happened is she was going to take this for the victory points because she sees that Beatrice has a lot more victory points. When she would have done that, she would also have wanted to influence this sector because it's worth 2. So she should have one of her influence discs out here, which should have made her upkeep cost a little bit more. I'm not sure what that number is exactly, but I'm going to move her down 3. We'll say she made $3 less that turn, which probably evens out to about right. Okay. So with that, let's get started on this round. So, round 8, final round. Beatrice has got the start player. What is she thinking? She's thinking at this point in time, she needs to figure out how to steal a few more victory points. So she's not as afraid of Jocasta coming in and taking over her realm as she is about being out victory pointed. So one of the things that she can't do very effectively is get more ships over. She's got her dreadnought way over here, and it'd have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe to get over there. She could go out. There's a monolith here, so these monoliths are worth 3 victory points. So if she wanted to be rough and tumble, she could go after this hex right here. And if we were to do that, this hex is unguarded, so we could move through that hex. That would be we have to leave that one behind, and we could go 1, 2, 3 and get in there. I think we're going to try to figure out how to get into either this hex or the center, which is undefended at this point in time. I think there was some assumption that Jocasta was going to take out Beatrice's stuff here, and she thought, I'll have no problem with that, but that's not how that worked out. So the tough part is, in order to take over this, we'd have to eliminate all of the population, and she doesn't have neutron bombs, and Jocasta has neutron absorbers, so it's going to be really tough to clear out all of the population in that area. Okay, so the first thing I think that Beatrice is worried about is she can move her juggernauts around, but if she does that, she's going to leave some openings for Jocasta to come in. So she needs to drop a couple of star bases to help things out. So in order to do that, she's going to do a build action. And to build 2 star bases, it's going to cost her 6. So she's going to go from 31 down to 25 and build a couple of star bases. She'll drop one here, and she will drop one here. So ideally, that prevents Jocasta from coming in and doing any fancy pants stuff. All right, let's see here. Other things that she could do, she can drop some population. So at this point in time, getting more science and that stuff isn't really going to help, but getting some more money to make sure she doesn't bankrupt could help. So let's do 1 off the population track and get her last money one there. All right. Also, population does kind of help defend because you have to eliminate all the population cubes before you can take over. So I think she will actually do a population and put the science in here because we might be moving out of this sector in the near future. We'll see how it goes. All right, so she's done. She's built and done some population. So what's Jocasta looking at? So what Jocasta's looking at is she's only got 3 ships. So that's kind of unfortunate because she needs to do some, there's not a whole lot of fighting she could do here. She has the ability, and she doesn't have a bunch of materials. She was thinking about sciencing it up. So if she gets another piece of tech, she's probably going to be able to make, so one of the things to consider is she has a lot of action ability here to do things, whereas Beatrice over there is not going to get a whole lot of moves. So she can kind of fiddle during the first part of her round and let Beatrice play herself out and then decide what to do. So with that in mind, she can look at the tech that's out there. I think she's going to go after getting a tech, preferably one that's going to fill up this bottom track. So that's going to be one of these, or she could go after one of these bottom techs down here. Let's see here. What does she want? Something that doesn't cost all that much. Maybe let's go with this one. Let's go with improved logistics, which is going to give her an additional move, which could be handy. And all of her ships would automatically get that. So yeah, let's go with improved logistics. So that's only going to cost, she's going to have to do a research. She'll get improved logistics and it's going to cost 6, and it's going to fill out her track there. So it's going to cost her 6 technology. She's going to go down to 20. And that also means when she does a move action, she's going to get to move an additional one. So she's going to get to do 4 moves, which will be good because she's probably going to have at least 4 ships on the board here in very short order. Okay, so we're going to go over to Beatrice at this point in time. So Beatrice doesn't have she has maybe 2 or 3 more actions she can do. So she's trying to figure out what the best way for her to do an attack is. Problem is, getting this dreadnought anywhere is really tough. Getting this she can get this dreadnought into the center, but she's not going to be able to take out all of the population cubes. That's not very likely. So I think she needs to summon some secondary forces to help out. So she's going to do a build action. Build. And this time she's going to build cruisers. So she's going to build 2 cruisers, and they cost 5 apiece. So that's going to take her down from 25 to 15. So we'll grab a couple of cruisers out of her stuff. I think what we'll do is we're going to put one here. And one, I want to go here. We'll go here. Okay. Jocasta's turn. Oh, she's massing on the border. So Jocasta's thinking, still can play this a little bit and let things play out. Well, I go ahead and let's start building some interceptors. So we'll do a build action. And we'll build 2 interceptors, which is going to cost us 6. So we'll go down to 8. And I've got a feeling she's massing to attack right here. So we're going to drop them in here. All right. So then we're back over to Beatrice's side of the board. So Beatrice doesn't have a whole lot of actions left. So she's going to do a move at this point in time. All right, so she's got 3 moves. So I think we're going to go over here. That's a 1 and a 2. And then for her third move, she's going to move her dreadnought in here. All right. At that point in time, we go back over to Jocasta's side of the house. So Jocasta knows Beatrice is not going to do a whole lot more. She's got 2 more actions at the most. We can kind of go almost all the way out because we're making enough money that we're not going to bankrupt ourselves. What else can she do? She can science it up some more. Is there any great, there's no great science things out there, and she's filled out this track. She'd have to buy at least 1, 2 in order to get 1 victory point, which doesn't seem like a good use of resources. I think she's going to build a few more interceptors. So we're going to go here. We're going to do a build. So our build for 2. Building 2 more interceptors is going to cost us 6. So we're going to go from 8 down to 2. We get 2 more interceptors. And we think we'll drop them. Let's drop those right here in the middle. All right. We're back over to Beatrice's side of the board. Now, Beatrice isn't exactly happy with how this is going out. She's got maybe 1 more. If she wants to influence anything that she captures, she can't do any more actions, which is a problem. Her dreadnought right there is kind of stuck, so actually she's going to pass at this point in time. She can get her start player token. She's going to go up to... The reason she's passing is she could maybe go 1 more turn, but she wants to hold on just in case she needs to do a reaction to something that Jocasta does, because Jocasta can do a few more things over there. So she's gonna wait a second. All right, so we're gonna go over to Jocasta's turn. So what Jocasta has is Jocasta has neutron bomb, so she can actually, and Beatrice doesn't have things to stop that, so she can clear out some of Beatrice's stuff. So she's thinking she's going to do a move action. She wants to do some infiltration on Beatrice's area. So one of the things that we need to look at is getting a drink so I can talk some more. One of the things we need to look at is pinning. So if you look at something like the cloaking device here, it takes 2 of enemy to pin 1 of your ships. What this means is when I move into an area, I have to leave at least enough behind to be equal to the enemy that are there. So if I move 2 ships into here, I can't move. I have to leave at least 1 in. 1 will be pinned while I move to the other one, right? If Beatrice wanted to move through this square, she would have to have at least 3 ships in this square to equate to Jocasta's ships in order to move a 4th one through. So you get pinned equal to the number of ships that are in there. All right, so it would be nice to flush these guys through, which we can do. So let's do that. We can, this one, we have 3 moves with our moves. So that's 1. And he ends up not being pinned, so he can do a 2 and 3 and infiltrate all the way back there. All right, so that's the end of Jocasta's turn with 3 moves. So that makes Beatrice do a oh crap type thing, because she does not want to lose. That's her home planet there, and that's worth 3 victory points. So is it worth her going up to 25 and using her, because she can probably get this one if she combats it and then captures it. She would lose 1 there. I think she's not going to worry about it. She's going to stay past. She's probably going to lose that sector and control over it. She's all right with that. We'll see how it plays out. All right. She's going to stay past. We go back over to Jocasta. think Jocasta at this point in time, she's willing to see how things play out. So Jocasta's going to call it 2. She's going to pass. She wants to keep some tokens here so she can influence some of these sectors that she could potentially take over. So that is the end of our action phase. We're going to get into our final combat phase. So for our final combat phase, what we've got going on is we have a combat here, we've got a combat here, and we've got a combat here. All right, so looking at that, this one has 104. This one is 106. This one's actually 223. This one's 272. So our first combat is going to go off over here. All right, so let's see what we've got going on there. We've got our dreadnought, we've got a cruiser, and we've got a, whatever they are, the protector ships. I can't remember what their names are off the top of my head right now. The Guardians, yep. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is I have our torpedoes or missiles on the dreadnought, and those are going to fire first. So if I look at those are, I get 3 dice, and I get a +3 on them. Let's roll those, and I get 2 hits. So 2 hits isn't enough to take out the Guardian. I need 3 hits to take him out. So now we're going to have result to standard combat. So let's look at the speeds on the ships. The Guardian's got 3. The Juggernaut's got 1. My cruiser over there has 2. So the Guardian is going to go first. He's going to shoot 3 with a +2. All right, so with his +2, he's going to get 1 hit. So he's going to do 1 hit to the biggest thing out there. Do some damage. All right. Next up is going to be my cruiser. Has a speed of 2. It has 1 ion cannon, which he gets a +1 to hit with. No, +2 to hit with. So I'm going to hit on 4, 5, or 6, and I missed. All right, so the dreadnought has 2 ion cannons. Is going to hit on a 3, 4, 5, or 6. And we got 1 hit. So that's the 3rd hit that we need to take out the Guardian. The Guardian's gone. All right, so looking at that, we're going to go after victory tiles. Was in a battle. The Guardian's worth 2, so I'm going to grab 3 victory tiles. We'll see if we get anything fantastic out of there. There's a 1. Ooh, a 4. Oh, a 4 will replace something out there. There's a 4, a 3, a 3, and a 3. Well, we'll replace a 3 with a 4. All right. We'll throw those back in the bag. Let's see here. Let's move on to our next battle. So that was 272. We have, let's see, that's 106. That's 104. 106, 104, 223. I think this is our next battle, is this one here. So in 223, what we've got going on is there are no defenders in there. Jocasta has neutron bombs, which means she's going to wipe out that population. Ouch. So she immediately destroys the population. So if we look at how our combat track works here, we have, she's going to automatically win. Then we have attack population, which she just wipes them out. So we've got a pink and a brown and 2 money. All right. And then I'm going to lose my sector tile. Oop. All right, I'll pause for just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, back. The thing that I wanted to validate was that when I destroyed the population, I go to the graveyards. The second part is the influence disk goes from here back onto that player's track, and then I can place an influence disk of mine on there. So Jocasta is able to take this sector over, kick an influence disk back to Beatrice, which goes back on her track, so she's actually going to have to pay a little bit less at the end of the round. And then I can then Jocasta can drop an influence marker right there in the middle. So she gets control of that sector. All right, so that was 223. Now we start moving in a little bit. We've got 104 and 106, I think, are our next battles. So 106 will be our next battle. In this battle, we actually have a fight. We have a interceptor versus a starbase. So if we take a look at speeds, the starbase over there has 4 on its track, and the interceptor is a 3. So the starbase is going to fire first. Unfortunately, the starbase only has 1 ion cannon with a +1, so he's going to hit on 5s or 6s. And that was a big miss right there. All right. So the interceptor is going to fire up his rift cannon and do 2 damage to the starbase. So the starbase takes 2. I have 2 hull on the starbase, so if it takes 1 more damage, it's out. All right, the starbase is going to continue on. Fires 1 shot. Got a 3, +1 is 4, not enough. All right, so the interceptor is going to go for his shot with his rift cannon. Oh, he takes a damage. He hurts himself. All right, so we're going to continue combat. Here goes the starbase. We got a 4, +1 is 5, not quite enough. All right, so the interceptor is going to go at him again. And the interceptor gets 2 hits. All right, so the interceptor takes out the starbase. I'm not going to worry about these because they're going to go away at the end of the turn. There's nobody else left to fight them. The starbase is going to go away. So in that case, we did battle. We did battle with a starbase, and the starbase is worth, let's see here, starbase is worth 1, so we're going to pull 2 tiles. Jocasta's interested in pulling tiles because she's got a couple of crap tiles out there, so she's hopefully wants to get something better than a 2. She gets a 1 and a 2, nothing better than a 2, so doesn't do her any good. Put them back in there. Okay, so that's reputation for that. She has her neutron bomb, so she can wipe these off of here. So that's a brown and a pink. And then she can influence this sector. She's going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to kick that off. It's going to open up to 21. She's still going to be able to easily afford that. She's good to go. And then that combat is complete. So at this point in time, we go over to, I think this is our final combat here, which is Sector 104. So in 104, we've got the Dreadnought versus 3 interceptors. So the Dreadnought gets to go first with the missile fire, then the interceptors will go, and then we go with cannon fire with the Dreadnought. All right, so first off, the Dreadnought's 3 missiles have a +3 on them to hit. So that is 3 hits. I'm able to take out 1 of the interceptors because the interceptor has 2 hull, and then the 3rd hit destroys it. All right, so now I have 2 interceptors facing off against my Dreadnought. All right, so the interceptors have rift cannons. They're going to spin those up, do a couple of shots. Ooh, 3 damage. Plus he takes 1 damage to himself. Let's see, the 3 damage on the Dreadnought is not enough to kill it. I can still take 1 more damage before the Dreadnought goes out. All right, so the Dreadnought gets a retaliation strike here. He has his 2 ion cannons. You got a 4 and a 2, so that's 1 hit. Not enough to take him out. All right, so at this point, do we press the attack? Yes, we're both sides are pressing the attack. So we have the interceptors get to go first. There's 2 of them, so they're going to fire away. And we get hits and hits. All right, so the interceptors take out the dreadnought. All right, so let's get rid of these damage tokens because they're not going to matter here in a second. And so looking at the combat, we've got, we did a battle, destroyed an interceptor. So Beatrice is going to get 2. And she really needs to pull a 4 out of here if she's going to get anything better. And she pulls a 1 and a 1. So nope, no good. All right. If we look at what Jocasta destroyed a dreadnought, which is a big win. So she was in battle, and then for a dreadnought, you get to pull 3 tiles. So she gets to pull 4 tiles. Okay. So she's hoping for something better than a 2, maybe. She got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's better than a 2. I see a 3 out there. All right, so she's got a 3. That would replace one of these 2s that she has. So she'll keep the 3. And all the rest go back in the bag. All right, so all of our combat has finished at this point in time. So if we take a look at a little chart here, we've done all of our combat. We've got our reputation tiles. There's the population. We can influence sectors, discovery tiles. So we have this discovery tile here, which would be a technology. We don't want the technology, but we do want to influence the sector that's there. So there we go. All right. So now we've influenced all of our sectors. They've influenced sectors. That's all done. We can use colony ships. Do we have any reason to use colony ships? Trying to think. The amount that we're going to make is going to outdo what we're going to get. It's going to be the same thing over here. We're not worried about our costs versus we're not going to worry about colony ships. Collect income. So right now we've got a cost of 17 and we're going to make 28. So we'll go up 11. Doesn't matter a whole lot, but we'll just move it up there. We're going to go up to 16. And then on this side, we've got 24, 21. We're going to go up 3. The main thing there is to make sure that you don't go broke. We're going to go up 8 on our science track because we're going to get resources. So we would go up to 14. And this would go up to 33. These don't matter in the end game scoring. So we're going to go from 2 to 8. And we're going to get 24 more technology. So we're going to go up to 44, which would mean we would wrap around and we actually get to use the 40 side of stuff and be at 44. All right, so we've done all of our resources. And we are done at that point in time. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to break for just a second and let's work on totaling up points. All right, I'm back. I needed to go hunt down my little tablet that came with there so we can tally up points, make it a little bit easier. So let's go through. One of the things I said, it didn't matter a whole lot if I got resources. Actually, it does matter a little bit. If there is a tie in VPs, what we had for resources then comes into play. I think the likelihood that there's a tie in VPs is pretty low. So if it does come into play, then we'll see. All right. So the first thing up, if we look at our scoring chart here, we need to take a look at our reputation. So let's see what we've got for reputation. So these are the ones that we earned from battle. And actually, Jocasta did really bad. She drew horribly as she was pulling these. So if we take a look, we got 8 plus 6 is 14 for Beatrice on the reputation. And then for Jocasta, Jocasta has 6, 7, 8, oh, sorry, 9, 11. All right, so ambassador tiles is the next piece. Since we're playing in a 2-player, there are no ambassador tiles, so that's just a big X. All right, next is control. So let's take a look at what we have for control out here. So let's start with Beatrice. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 for Beatrice. And let's total up Jocasta. So Jocasta has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 24, 26. Ouch. That's a pretty big advantage there. 26 on the control, right? All right, monoliths. It looks like there's one monolith on the board and Jocasta has it. So 0 for Beatrice and 3. So discoveries right here is where it looks like Beatrice is going to come out a little ahead. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 discoveries. So she has 10 points in discoveries, where Jocasta only has 2. All right, so that's what we're looking at right now. We have no trader tiles because we weren't playing with traders because we're only doing a 2-player. Then we have tech progress. So let's look at tech progress on Beatrice's side. That's a 0, nothing there, nothing there. So we get big fat 0 on Beatrice's side. On Jocasta's side, we see a 5. So she got 5 for that. All right, and then we have species bonuses, which there's no species bonuses. Turns don't get any magical stuff. So now we start totaling them up and see who the winner is. So Beatrice, 14 and 14 is 28, plus 10 is 38, plus 1 is 39. 39. All right, so Jocasta has 11 plus 26. Right there is 37, plus 3 is 40, 42, 47. All right, so that looks like our final score there. We got Beatrice with 39 and Jocasta with 47. All right, looking at our board here, you can see that Jocasta there kind of got the middle. The differentiation in points there is 8 points, right? So this right here that Jocasta was able to go through in the end swung her 5 points up and took Beatrice 5 points down, right? So if we were to reverse that, that would push Beatrice up to 44 and put Jocasta down to 42, right? So maybe some better defense there would have helped, or maybe if one of those star bases had held out. It was actually a fairly close game and came down to the end there. This would have been a 5-point swing also. Had Beatrice managed to come in here and actually capture that would have been a 5-point swing in either way. So there were just a couple of battles at the end there that really helped determine this game and figure out which way it went. So all right, so there you go. That is a 2-player, just Terrans, game of Eclipse 2.0. If you start adding in the races, things get a little bit more cooler in that they're a little bit more unique, but also a little bit more complicated because they start with different attributes and have different special abilities. I would highly recommend your first game, play with Terrans. Also, take out all the weird tiles like the supernovas and the warp portals and those kinds of things. They are interesting in the game, but I think they're better saved till after you've played a base game version of the game. So that's it for now. I'm very proud of you if you made it through all of these plays, because that's a lot of game watching right there. Thanks for sticking through it, and look forward to bringing you more gameplays. Thank you very much.